It's me, Pretty Pink Pommy.
Hello? Hey! What the heck? Hey, y'all! How are we all doing today? Let me turn this music down before it starts bumping my ear. Get into it, 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 get into it. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Shout out to the icons of the day. Specifically, starting with, y'all went crazy with these redeems. Sombrerone, aka the icon of the day. Who else? Y'all got it like back to back. CNB122498 and Majestic Milo Take. Thank you so much, other druids. I don't know if you're here. Other druids did follow me like this calendar day. Today is going to be the tarot reading giveaway stream. I hope that y'all are all excited. If you would like to be a part of the tarot reading giveaway in any capacity, you need to go right now into the announcements channel in the Discord server, and you need to apply to be a part of the tarot reading. I'm not going to be spinning the wheel until after we go through a little bit of how the stream is going to be working. So hang in there with me on that. I'm just gonna let the music play. I don't know exactly what's going to be queued up, but I'm just going to let that play because it's not really bothering me. I can't see what stand I get. Well, yeah, so I did. So let's just get into it. Are y'all ready to get into it? Because I'm ready to get into it. Let's start here. And while we are here, oh, let me get rid of that. She doesn't need to be there, but this needs to be here. And we're going to start here, and we're going to start here, and we're going to remove this. There we are. Okay, so today is going to be the tarot reading giveaway stream. We are going to be doing a raffle. If you would like to join the raffle, you have a few more moments. Go into the announcements channel in the Discord server right now and scroll up to the post where I was talking about it and leave a Pekka-berry emoji, and you will be a part of the raffle if you would like a tarot reading. Okay. Hi, damsel. Hi, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day. If you would like a hello from me, now is your time to say hello. Hello, hello. I'm at work. But fuck them kids. Oh my god. Double checking even though I applied days ago. Yes, you are on the list. I saw that earlier. Hi, CNB. Even though I gave you a hello and I shouted you out. So today, there's going to be multiple tarot readings. There's actually going to be a total of 5 tarot readings happening on stream. We are going to be starting with one general collective reading for the community. And so how I'm going to be doing that, or at least how I'm going to be handling that, since I don't have hand cam and I don't particularly want it, is I'm going to be shuffling all of my cards, and I'm going to be giving one collective reading to the community and talking about what those cards say. What that means is that if you are lending your energy to this stream right now and you would like to see what the tarot reading has to say, we will talk about it. This reading can be applied to anyone who watches the VODs or who witnesses the stream. It's going to be more of a general message than anything about love or money or anything like that. It's not going to be super deep. There may be parts that resonate for everyone in that reading, but there might also be things that are going to specifically resonate for you if you know what I'm talking about when I'm referring to certain things in the reading. You don't have to tell me that it resonates for it to apply. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. It's going to be a cute tarot reading. It's not going to be a deep tarot reading. I'm also going to be giving away 3 personal tarot readings that are going to be happening on the stream. These will be personal, meaning that they're going to be dedicated and focused to one person. You may ask a question or get a general reading with or without a focus on a specific aspect of life. There are some things that tarot cannot answer, so prepare a few different questions when you are chosen for the raffle. That was more so for the people who are preparing for the raffle weeks in advance. Today I'm going to say it just blatantly. There are things that I am not verified to talk about through the tarot or to give advice on, period. And therefore, I cannot give you advice on everything. So there are some things that I refuse to read about. Let's move forward. The tarot and oracle decks that I will be using in today's stream. I have the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. I have the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck by Matt Hughes, and I have the Oracle of the Roses by Sherilyn Darcy. I have many oracle decks and many tarot decks. I actually haven't counted, but if I counted all of them, it would probably be like 40 different card decks that are sitting on a shelf in my closet right now, and they're all great and beautiful, and I've used all of them, and I have independent relationships with all of them when I was using them more actively than I am right now. However, right now they're just kind of collecting dust, so I'm excited to bust some of these out and use them with you. I already did shuffle them relatively well, and I also shuffled them for Sam's reading because I did an example reading, which is really just a reading for Sam that I pre-recorded prior to the events of the stream that I will be showing you in a little while to give you a little taste of what the tarot readings will be like for today's stream. The Amy Rose tarot deck, that would be fun. I am curious what's going on in that deck, but these are the decks that I'm using. I have a lovely collection of tarot decks, but these are just the ones that I have pulled out for this one because I felt like they were aesthetic and cute and like they made sense to use together. Anyway, some basic information and history about tarot. Tarot originated in an era as early as the 1400s in Europe as a card game. Eventually, over time, there were occultist groups who used tarot as a form of divination, eventually leading to its development for the use of fortune telling. This led to the creation of decks with the sole purpose of fortune telling, as seen in popular culture. While many decks utilize standard four suits in the minor arcana, which would be the cups, the wands, I think it's the cups, the staffs, and then the other two, which are the swords and the pentacles. There are different suits depending on what region you are from or where the region of origin of the cards. It's really interesting. And actually those cards probably have a shared history with the standard playing cards that we know of today. However, this is not part of the written part of the presentation. There are major arcana that have developed specifically for the use of tarot reading. There are many other popular card decks used as divination tools for occultists, fortune tellers, psychics, and scammers alike. For example, the Minchiati Tarot or the Tote Tarot deck, to name a few. Divination is a term that describes the process of gaining information through magical or ritual means. It is a grouping term that would encompass many things, like cloud reading, any form of scrying, the use of dowsing rods, bone throwing, or tarot reading, among others. What would a popular form of divination be? I think tarot would be the most popular form of divination. The specific term to describe the use of playing cards as a divination tool is cartomancy. Oracle cards are another development from the culture surrounding tarot reading. Occultists of all kinds have created decks for the use of divination, not unlike tarot. The difference is that oracle card decks do not follow the same format as tarot cards and tarot cards off. What is this? Okay. The difference is that oracle card decks do not follow the same format as tarot cards and often have meanings that depart from the capabilities of a standard tarot deck. Let's continue. And so like I showed you here, I'm using 2 oracle decks, right? And I'm using 1 tarot deck. And even though this is not the standard would be the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck or any variation of that. That's just because that's the cultural standard among people who are doing tarot readings these days. And that was created in the 20th century, actually, I think. I think it was the 20th century. If not, it was the 19th century. Yeah, it had to be the 20th century, like the 1900s. If not, it was the 19th centuries. So before I continue, does anybody have any questions about what it is that we're talking about? I'm going to show you the spread that I'm going to be utilizing in the next slide. So let's talk about that first. Here's what the readings will look like for today. I'm going to be using a very basic spread, a past, present, future spread with the tarot. And then I'm also going to be utilizing the 1 oracle card from each individual deck. So the past is going to be representing where you're coming from. This card gives prior information. The present, what's going on energetically at the moment of your inquiry. And the future, where will the energy lead you moving forward? What advice do you need to get there? Oracle card 1 is going to be used as part of the conversation about advice. So tarot card 3 and Oracle card number 1 are going to be kind of connected, and then Oracle card number 2 is going to be connected to tarot card number 2, interestingly enough, and it's going to be a reflection of you, where you are currently standing in this situation, good or bad. If it's going to be more of a general reading, it's going to be kind of how you're being represented in the moment. I can handle that, though. Tarot can take a lot of different directions depending on what the question is being posed, or if it's a general reading or anything like that. So it's really easy to kind of, for people who know what they're doing, it's easy to shift the perspective with your words as opposed to having a very blanket statement of what is this supposed to be about. Oracle decks can be wildly different. Your favorite is the Sacred Symbols deck. You have to send that to me. Send that in the Discord, or you can DM it to me if you would like. Can I ask, unless you'll touch on this later, why some topics you aren't allowed qualified to give advice on? I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a lawyer. I am not a health practitioner. So, while all of this is for entertainment purposes and it can all be fun to talk about, and honestly, I could talk about a lot of things, I want you to, the point that I was trying to make with that is that this is not a replacement for going to a doctor. This is not a replacement for going to a lawyer. This is not a replacement for working out your IRL life in an IRL way that is reasonable considering the society that we happen to live in. That's why I said that, because first of all, I don't want to, like, tarot can be really big for a lot of people, but tarot can also be really small for a lot of people. Some people take it with a grain of salt, and some people make it their life. And to me, it's somewhere in between. To a lot of people, it's somewhere in between. But I don't, even if that is true for me and some of those other people, where it's bigger than just a grain of salt, it's just bigger than just a cute little message that the cards are telling you based on what you pulled, it is still something that needs to be, as somebody, as the person who's doing the reading for you and showcasing these readings to the community, I need to be honest about the fact that this might mean nothing. And if you want it to mean nothing, then it means nothing. And at the end of the day, your real life evidence about what's going on in your real life is more impactful than anything that I could say with the tarot cards. Take this as more of food for thought. So that's where, and that leads me right to the disclaimer. All advice is from a friend to a friend. I am not trained to advise anyone in the matters of mental or physical health, finances, law, or any other arena that requires a formal training. All readings are for entertainment purposes only. Are there any more questions? Not the scammers. I had to put it in there. I thought it was funny. Ooh, that water is real good. Will you show us the cards you pulled on Discord after or anything? So let's move on to here's Sam's reading. So I actually already started a reading for Sam. I will show that reading to you all here in a moment. But here are Sam's cards that I pulled for Sam. This is what you're going to see when I'm having the conversation. I'm going to pull the cards, and then I'm going to show you the cards as I've pulled them in front of me through a picture that I'm going to send to myself and put on the presentation. And then we'll go from there. I will read them. I'll show you what these cards are, tell you what they mean, and tell you what the reading is telling me. Which one do you use? Also, oh, Sublink, you used the Amy Rose. That's nice. Can I summon Blue Eyes White Dragon? Maybe. Okay, so are y'all ready to see Sam's reading? I don't know if Sam is here. But I will be posting this VOD somewhere or other. Let's go here. And while Sam's reading is playing, I'm going to be shuffling the cards for the general reading before we do the raffle. Let's get rid of this. I need to... Actually, oh, not me disappearing. Hey. Okay, let me put these here just for this moment. Let me adjust what I need to do on this screen before I start working on the next screen. There we go. Okay, so I'll take that off here. Take that off. And then let's find that file. I should have had this prepared. If you still have time to join the raffle, if you haven't joined the raffle yet, you still have time to join the raffle. Go join the raffle in the announcement channel if you would like a reading. Here is Sam's reading. Okay, found it. Leave an emote in the chat if you're with me. Leave an emote in the chat if you are with me. Let's do that. Here we go. Are y'all ready to see Sam's reading? Thank you so much, Sam, for being the guinea pig. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to turn that music down as we watch this. Let me know if it's loud enough. Should be fine. Thank you so much to Sam for being my example reading. I am going to be giving Sam a genuine reading, but I am shuffling his cards right now to answer the question that he has. His particular question was, what does my emotional near future have for me? And I'm going to take you through some of that process. The shuffling process will probably be a little bit longer because I started recording it and then I realized I wasn't recording, and y'all will be here with me through the whole thing. It probably won't take very long. I was also getting a little bit of my preliminary shuffle in for like the reading, but here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I'll take that. Sam, they are telling me you're T. They're telling me you're T. Okay. So I'm gonna put boom. There we go. Okay, Sam, I got 5 cards for you. I have 3 tarot cards from the Illuminated, what is it called? Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck. I don't read reversals from this particular tarot deck. And then I have 1 Oracle of the Roses, and I have 1 Rose Oracle. Let me just make sure that I have these in the right formation. Yes. Okay. So now the next part of this process is I'm going to be taking a picture of your card so that I can put that on the screen for you here. If my phone, hello? Oh my god. My phone, sometimes my phone is weird about taking these freaking pictures. Like, she don't want to connect, she don't want to do what she got to do, she don't want to do what she got to do, but I'm going to make her do what she got to do. Okay. Let's get that little cute set up. Right. Okay, I'm pushing my computer back just a touch. School me. Okay, we got some things we got to do around here, folks. Okay, let's get this cute picture in. Okay, there are your cards, Sam. Let me edit this up a little bit, and then we can start that lovely, lovely reading. It seems to have some good information for you. I'll crop it. Because what use do y'all have of seeing my lap in front of my computer, and what use do y'all have of seeing my, okay, that's beautiful. That is not how I cropped it. Hello? These phones, anyway. Okay, lovely picture. Look, let me put this in here. I'm taking this picture. Sending it through Discord, and then I will be saving that picture via Discord. Save image. Or actually, I could just copy and paste it, right? White. And here is that reading. So the cards are sitting in front of me in the same formation, and we're going to talk a little bit, Sam, about what this reading entails for you. Your question is, what is your near future regarding emotions, right? So we have the Devil, a major arcana. We have the Hanged Man, another major arcana. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Wild Rose from the Rose Oracle, and then we have the Gardener from the Oracle of the Roses. I believe that's what those Oracle decks are called. At this moment, if I'm getting it wrong, I'm sorry, but we're gonna move on. So the Devil speaks about connections. It seems that you are being weighed down a little bit. Don't take it. Don't. Okay. Before we get into it, the Devil is a representation of energy. Follow me. It's not an actual representation of any kind of major ideas about the devil or evil or anything like that. It's a representation of energy. And in this case, the devil represents the energy of connections, specifically earthly connections, things that are relating to your body, things that are relating to your internal mind. This could possibly mean things that are weighing you down and addictions. Since this is in the past position, it seems that you might be recovering from something of this sort, or that you are moving on from something of this sort, and that you are trying to process your way through it, possibly, or that you have moved on from that energy, right? We have the hanged man in your current position, the position of the present, which speaks to the hanged man is more about being hung up. You're in a phase of thinking, you're in a phase of processing, you're in a phase of moving through the energy and really trying to figure out exactly where it is you want to go before you go. The hanged man represents somebody who is stopping and pausing for enlightenment before they move on to their next phase. But it is a major energy because it's a major arcana. We have the Ace of Wands, which is in your future energy, and it's talking about the potential newness, especially through actions, because that's what the wands are. I will say that this is more of a, how do I say that? I would say almost that this is like more of a phallic representation, for lack of a better term, of where things are going to be going moving forward in your emotional life, which could be good news, but could be also speaking to your relationship to your physical body, especially because we already have the devil out. With these cards in themselves being represented here, I can see a process where you're moving beyond some of the things that were previously weighing you down. And because of the fact that we have major arcana representing those energies, I really do think that this is indicative of you possibly even moving beyond big things in your life, like um, social paradigms, for example, things that are weighing you down in a way that really don't reflect who you are as a person or your beliefs could be at play here. Although I also think that it could be something to do with relationships, or possibly even your relationship to certain things that don't serve you, like the idea that you have to be connected to people who you call your family when they don't treat you that way. For example, I'm not even saying that that's necessarily what it is, but it's things like that. um you're being represented as the garden rose, the gardener. You are somebody who, at this current phase,
That's this
right,
card, the one on the
you're
end.
somebody who, you're gathering energy, you're gathering people, you're gathering thoughts, you're gathering ideas, you're trying to figure out exactly where you want to go before you go there. And we could already see that through the hanged man, so it's interesting that those two dynamics are playing off of each other. You're looking for enlightenment, you're looking for something to look forward to, you're looking for positivity, you're looking for growth, and you're doing that by cultivating your resources and really almost capitalizing, they want me to say capitalizing on your your ability to discern what is good for you and what is not. You're not showing up in places you previously were in the same way, but you're doing things differently because you want to have a different result, which
Duh.
makes sense. And it's almost
Yeah,
with the
duh.
Ace of Wands coming out, it's saying basically that that's what's going to happen. Um, the Wild Rose coming out for your advice is interesting too. It says here on the fine print, do it your way. Embrace your
It
uniqueness,
says that right
untamed.
here.
And I think that that might be what this enlightenment phase is about for you, where you are someone who you might have been weighed down, especially with the devil, or the way that the devil is out and where the devil is at. It gives me a strong impression that you are being weighed down by societal It's not pressures showing and
my
your connection to
cursor.
possibly
Oh.
family groups, society groups, identity, etc. And all of these things are playing in tandem against your better nature or possibly against your growth as an individual, especially artistically, especially creatively, especially spiritually, because the devil is such a grounded energy. The devil is associated with the sign of Capricorn in astrology. And the hanged man is Pisces. Pisces is about, I believe the hanged man is Pisces. Oh girl, it's been a hot minute since I did tarot readings like this. But the hanged man is Pisces. I believe it's Pisces Virgo cusp, but I think, or axis, but I think it's specifically Pisces, where it's like you are looking deep within yourself in your emotions to find what it is you're doing right now, or in the near future you're possibly processing all of these negative things that hold your heart back from expressing yourself accurately, which could be related to communication but is definitely related to your emotions. And you need to focus on that aspect of yourself that speaks to your creativity. Which is interesting because how I see you is that you are such a creative person, but what these cards are giving is the impression that you're holding back from being all that that might entail. And I think that your advice is to grab it, to hold it, to pursue it. The Ace of Wands being out here for your advice, being out here for your future. There's endless bounds of potential for you if you, or there's endless bounds. There's no bounds to your potential here if you pursue it with optimism, if you pursue it with vigor, if you pursue it with action, an action oriented energy. You have been cultivating your skills for what seems to be a long time, especially because the devil is Capricorn. Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn is slow moving. Capricorn is Earth. It's Earth is also slow moving. It's slow moving energy. It's what ties you to this realm. You have been gathering all the things you need for a long time, and now it's time for you to push yourself out of that comfort zone. And for you, based on how I know you, that might entail moving locations. That might entail um but it's not necessarily even about relocation. It's not the environment the environment is probably a part of this, but it's about what's going on in your mind that is what's going to free you here. Anything else that I'm getting from these cards right now? I I feel like an expression of beauty here, like almost like gratitude. Gratitude is interesting. Like you might, like, what might be actually holding you down in a lot of ways is your need or other people's desire for you to express gratitude for what it is that they've done, or how it is that they got you where you need to be in your emotional life, or possibly in other realms of your life that affect your emotions. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but at the end of the day, like, even look at the Wild Rose card. You see the girl with her red hair here. I'll put my pointer on it. You see the girl with her red hair here. She's standing out. Even though there are people around her who are helping her, there are people around her who are near her, there are people around her who are contributing energy, and these might also be representation of herself. She's standing out here. She's pushing herself through this whole paradigm. She's pushing herself through this whole picture. She's standing out because of her decision to focus forward, her decision to look at the camera, her decision to take center stage in an arena where it is her obligation to herself to do so. And I think that that speaks to your obligation to yourself to be that person for you. This is a really interesting energy, and it's actually not where I thought this reading was going to go. So I'm glad that we got to experience this together. Thank you so much for allowing me to be the person to give you this message. And I hope that you got something from this. Good luck in your endeavors moving forward. if you ever want to have a conversation about how this might have applied to you, or if you ever want to let me know how things are going based on some of the things that I might have said that were predicting where things were moving for you, I would love to hear it. I appreciate you so much, Sam, and good luck. That was the example reading. Thank you so much for watching that video with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you're watching as an onlooker, you probably might get something from it if you're watching as an onlooker, but it was not meant for you, so it might not apply to you. Right now, what I am working on is actually getting my things in order so that I can do the collective reading before we get into the raffle reading. So I'm going to be preparing that. I'm going to be preparing that for the upcoming few moments, and we're going to go back to the music. Yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed it, or if you have any questions about how the process is going to go, feel free to ask. But like I said before, when I was doing the presentation, I can't tell you everything about the process, just simply because that's partially for my own protection, but that's also for like on a personal level, protection on a personal level, but it also is about the, but you can ask me anything. I'll tell you if I can tell you or not. Yeah, so Sublink did bring up a few things. Sublink, as far as I'm concerned, Sublink is skilled enough to read tarot, or has some knowledge about it. Sublink said, this makes me want to go to Barnes & Noble and tarot hunt. Sometimes I notice spirit can be relying on depictions of an image in a card rather than an actual meaning of a card. So in spiritual communities, a lot of times people talk about the creator spirit that looms over all of us, especially people who exist in neo-pagan communities, Wiccan communities, etc. They refer to the spirit of creation as spirit, right? That can be as deep or as simple as you want it to be. In this case, since we're not really going to be getting into a very spiritual conversation here, because that was never my intention, let's just call it the God of your understanding. Sublink said, spirit can be relying on depictions of an image in a card rather than the actual meaning of the card. I agree. There's a lot of things that go into tarot reading that I don't necessarily disclose about my experience with pulling out a bunch of cards and opening up the energy, that are hard to describe after having so much experience with it. I've been reading tarot cards for nearly a decade of my life now. And I love tarot reading, and I think that it's such an interesting creative endeavor to go into. I love discussing tarot and spiritual stuff, so I might get carried away, so I apologize. No, speak all you want. I'm glad that you're excited about it. So first things first, we're going to get started with the collective reading. Like I told you earlier, I'll show this to you again. The collective reading is, I don't know if that is here. It should be. Hello? Okay. Not this, that's Discord. The collective reading, it can be applied to anybody who watches the VOD or witnesses the stream. So even if we are not necessarily, if you're not winning the raffle or you're not participating, you might get something from this collective reading. I'm shuffling the cards for it now. I'm just trying to get a general collective reading for the community at large. Whoever can sense their energy to this tarot reading, whether it is now or in the future, what is it that they need to hear for that general collective reading? I'm shuffling the tarot cards. You might be able to hear it in my audio, you might not, and if not, that's also okay. Is the music loud? It's not. You teleported there. You're at the B&B right now. B&B? Barnes & Noble. Oh! You teleported to Barnes & Noble? I do hear it. It's cool. Yeah, period. It was not that far from me. I trust you. Oh. Okay. Give me something else. Oh. The girls are going through it. What's going on? In general, gender neutral, positive. Bitches are going through it. The bitches are at odds. Oh my god. What is going on? The girls. Okay. Give me one card to represent the general energy of the community at large. Anybody who is watching this reading or who can sense their energy to this reading from now or in the future. Let's see. Let's see. You're excited? Get into it, Milo Tick. I'm excited too. I am gonna take a moment. Okay. So basically, what I'm gonna do, the procedure, which I didn't explain in the thing. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna send it to myself through Discord, and I'm gonna put it in the presentation, and then I will show it to you via the presentation as I'm doing the reading. That way, you can see the cards, and I'll refer to them with my pointer. We need to fund a hand cam, girl. We need to fund much more than that if y'all want to see my hands on stream, but. I'm not really interested in hand cam because honestly, I don't like getting my shit together like that. Ooh, this is. So this could apply to, like I said, the general collective reading can be applied to an individual, but it can also be applied to the community as a whole. The girls are fighting. What are y'all scared of? Don't tell me. Okay, this is just my general. This is my general observations of the cards before I actually get into what they're actually meaning. Are y'all scared of me? Let's talk about it. Me consenting all of my energy. Oh, V is scared of women. I also have a large encyclopedia, Book of Spirits. Don't ask how much I paid for it. Wait, which one is it? What's it called? Sublink? Like, what's the name of it? Oh, okay. This has nothing to do with me. Whenever I hang out with y'all, I scream internally. Well, I figured you were going to do that anyway. Okay, here are your cards as they have been laid out in front of me. In front of me. Let me put these cute crystals around it, make the picture all cutesy. Here, even though I'm really using these crystals as more paperweights than anything, but... Okay, I'm getting my little picture in right now. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, and let's edit that up really quickly. Let me go get it. Would this apply here? 16 by 9 is a little big. This is actually kind of a pretty picture. I love this. Okay, let's get into the beautiful colors, beautiful colors. Okay, now I'm sending it to myself on Discord. Bear with me, bear with me. I be in the bed levitating. Get me, girl, get up. I think you're kind of scary, I won't lie. Hi, Gar. Welcome in. Okay, I will put this image up here while I edit this. That way y'all don't see all the background stuff going on. I'm gonna copy this from my messages. You know what I really want to hear? I want to hear, I'll go MIA. I'm a go. Right. Okay, so that's Sam's reading. So we'll copy this one. Shout out to Sam. Thank you for being my guinea pig, Sam. If anybody would like to participate in the tarot raffle happening, just go look in the announcements channel of the Discord and join the raffle that way. All you have to do is scroll up in the announcements channel. Girl's girl wants a boy. Get into weights. Anyway. Oh, it's a little bit close up. Okay, and then let me just put capital COLLECTIVE, Control C, actually Control A, Control C, and then we'll hit this really fast, and then This is happening a little faster than I thought it would. Control V. And then, hi V. If you're with me, leave an emote in the chat as I am preparing the general collective reading. I tell myself. Yes, I'm... No, because I was actually thinking about how the first time you were in my stream, I was mad at a viewer and had literally just sent a message for the first time. Who was I mad at? What was going on in the stream that you were like, that I was mad? Who was I mad at? What is tea? What is tea? Also, let me put these embellishments in front of this little image, because like, girl, this is, anyway. Watch this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Presentational. There we go. Not V. They might have said something crazy. You're right. Okay, so here's the general collective reading of the cards that I have pulled. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the card from the Rose Oracle called the Grandmothers. It says here, remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. And lastly, we have the Seeker. This is the Modern Garden Rose from the Oracle of the Roses. It says Mrs. Robert Perry Rose. In a general sense, this is a very past, present, future kind of reading. We're keeping it cute, but we're going to get into it. In the past, where we're coming from, we have the Seven of Wands. There's conflict here, specifically conflict in the desire or the need to maintain your own position. You, like the community at large, you. I'm going to speak in you terms. You, me, I. Right? First person. You might have gone through in your past, in your near past especially, a phase of life, a cycle, regardless of how long it might have been for you, where you specifically felt the need to defend your position. As a community, there's a lot of people, there might have been outside forces who were infiltrating the space in some capacity. Or in your own individual life, there might have been people infiltrating your space, infiltrating your safety, infiltrating your peace in some capacity. This could be, since it's the Seven of Wands, wands are actions. This could have been preventing you from taking further action in your life that you felt was necessary because you had to take out energy to protect yourself. This could be you feeling the need to take action against people in almost out of revenge or vengeance, so that you could protect yourself, or so that you could bring down forces that were working against you. This could be a lot of things. In your current energy, we have the Four of Cups. We will return back to each individual card, but in the current energy, we have the Four of Cups. That's this card right here. The Four of Cups normally represents a spiritual refusal. Something is being presented to you, possibly in the form of a relationship, in the form of positivity, positive words from outside sources. This could be in a spiritual context, some form of spirituality, some aspect of your life that is being presented to you basically on a silver platter. And you're saying, it's very much the second verse. Y'all know what is that song called? If I ain't got you, where she says, this Alicia Keys, if I ain't got you, she says, hand me the world on a silver platter, and what good would it be? And it's like, so that almost, because I'm thinking of that song, it almost might be alluding to, because she continues, she says, with no one to share, with no one who truly cares for me, right? And then we go into the chorus. She's saying in that she's being handed something on a silver platter, but it doesn't matter if I'm not here with my community, or if I'm not here with my person, if I'm not here with somebody else. And basically what that's kind of giving, and the impression that that's giving me, is that you'd rather look to, don't go chasing waterfalls. That's very indicative of the Four of Cups energy as well. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, where you would rather focus on the things that are being cultivated in front of you, the things that you can see, the things that you can determine, the things that you already know the value of, as opposed to looking at the value of new potential, right? Which is an interesting dynamic because in the cups, it's like you are like the journey of the cups is to emotional fulfillment, and it's like you're starting at the three of cups, which is all about friendship and camaraderie and also teamwork, but also sometimes there can be other aspects that like the frivolity of relationships can also be kind of like spoken of in the three of cups card, and we're moving towards the 10 of cups, which is emotional fulfillment at the highest level, whatever you can think of, but you can't even move to the four. The four is like the prevention of you moving even to the five, even though the five of cups, like the cups can be a little nasty because emotions can be up and down. The four of cups is a refusal to move beyond the phase of happiness and understanding of where you currently are, where you previously were, even though where you previously were was you were defending your energy, you were defending your spot. It's almost kind of like you can't move beyond mentally, spiritually, energetically. You cannot move beyond where you previously were, even though where you previously are coming from is fights, it's chaos, it's combativeness, it's revenge, it's petty, it's jealousy, it's envy, it's anger, it's upset. It's all of those things coming together where you have to take action out of that negative space within yourself to defend the spot that you're at, but you don't want to move forward because you're like, I had to fight hard to get here, and now you're telling me I got to keep going. I have to keep emotionally evolving. I have to keep growing as a person. I have to keep doing things that are going to develop my life further than where I currently am sitting. And that can be a lot. And it's like we have the Eight of Cups as the next card. The Eight of Cups is kind of like, and then at the in the future, it's almost describing you as letting it all go, letting it go, letting all of that energy go. And the reason why you're letting it go is because look at this person in this card, is they're looking towards the moon. You're looking towards something big and bright and positive, something that might be distant from you, but you're willing to take that journey because the road in front of you, while it might have twists and turns, you can see where it's going now. It's almost kind of like in this current energy that we're sitting in as a community, as a collective. The Four of Cups is representing us needing to take time to really, while yes, there might be a refusal of certain opportunities or certain directions that we can go in, we are still taking stock of what's actually going on. While we might be saying no, my like your steak is too buttery, your steak is too juicy. I do not want the mashed potatoes. My lobster is too buttery, my steak is too juicy. I need to eat what's on my plate. I cannot take other sides. I cannot take a dessert right now. Don't give me that coffee. Give me a cup of water so I can demolish what's on my plate currently. And then after the fact, you're like, wait. But but the Eight of Cups is kind of like bring back that piece of cake. Let me go back to the kitchen. Let me go back to the fridge and get that piece of cake because it kind of sounds good now that I've polished off my lobster and my steak. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that what you have is bad necessarily. That's not actually what's being discussed. It's the energy of you needing to defend where you're at currently so that you can proceed with, so that you can take stock of what you're doing, so that when you move forward, you know exactly where you're coming from. Because in the energy of the Seven of Wands, you might not know exactly what you're defending because it's almost kind of like unseen forces. It's kind of like it's all coming at you from different angles, different life experiences, different things happening to you at one point or another, and sometimes it's negative experiences and sometimes it's things that just cause chaos. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's situations, emergencies, whatever. And it's like this, the Four of Cups is almost kind of like, while it might be saying I'm stopping myself from pursuing opportunities emotionally or in whatever arena it is, although the cups normally denotes emotion, it's because I need to focus on me, and that is enhanced by the Seeker. You're not in, like, it's interesting because the Seeker, it's as an individual, you might be looking inward, you might be looking outwardly, you might have the ability to look outward, but you're looking within. That's what that oracle card from the Oracle of the Roses is telling us, is that you're looking, you're observing, you're seeing, but you're looking mostly within. You know, I'm kind of thinking of, like, in the past, like talking about oracles, like actual people who did work as oracles, people who did readings, people who did scrying, people who did all these things. communities in ancient times, communities that go to them specifically, is the weather going to change? Are the crops going to grow? Is my baby going to survive this illness? Are all these things going to happen? And they would have to look for a person to be able to determine these things. They have to have a stronger relationship with themselves, and that's what's happening here. Is that you're developing a stronger relationship with yourself. You're looking within, so that when you have to move forward, you can be observant of what's going on around you without having to question without having to question on whether or not you're okay. That's deep. The last card that we have, which is going to lead us into the advice, is the grandmothers from the Rose Oracle. It says, remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. Weaving is interesting here because I think that that's like a cross-cultural thing, right? Where across the world, people have done all kinds. There are so many different trades and what is it called? Sacred abilities. It's not a trade, it's not a sacred ability, it's like artisanal weaving. So many things that we consider to be frivolous in the modern era, that we can only gain from ancient wisdom. You know what I mean? That's what that's referring to. The weavings. It's like the weavings of your life. Think of the fates in the Greek mythology or in Hellenistic mythology, where like there's a divine force that has crafted your life into existence, and sometimes that can be your ancestors or that can be the people who came before you. But this card could definitely denote a relationship to an elder, to an advisor, to a parent, to a trusted member of your chosen family, who needs to speak life into you. Go to those people. There might be something there for you when it comes to moving from your present moment to your future moment. When it comes to moving from taking stock to moving forward. There might be somebody in your existence now, or possibly an essence of or that might even be happening in the near future for you, where you're going to look to an elder, or you're going to think about your future. And at certain points in my own spiritual existence, there were times when I was connecting with my future self. And that's something that I was even thinking about yesterday, where I was thinking in my head, I was listening to the Kiki Palmer podcast with Niecy Nash that came out like a few weeks ago. I think it might have come out this week. It might have come out a few weeks ago. I don't remember. But Niecy Nash was basically saying, like, and she was speaking in terms of God, but she was saying, like, it's almost, I'm paraphrasing here because I don't remember her exact words, but essentially she was saying, why would you deny the life that's been laid out in front of you by divine hands, essentially? And that's kind of what's being said here, is that there might be outside observers who can see what you're going through or who see what you're doing, and they just need to speak a little bit of life into you. I don't think that you should seek out advice, compliments. I don't think that you should be fishing for compliments, and I don't think that seeking advice or looking for people who are in your life to be bigger or deep, or to have a deeper ability to do this with you than you already can see from them. So like, if you have a bad relationship, let's say you're thinking in your head, you have a mentor, and this person is a mentor on a on a professional level. This person's a mentor to you, but you don't have a deep relationship with them, or they're not necessarily somebody who you think sees it for you the way you see it for you. Don't go to that person. Don't seek out this advice. Let that come into you. Be absorbent of what's happening in your environment. Basically, the advice, to a certain aspect, the card from the Rose Oracle, is kind of saying, seek out the energy, open yourself up to the energy of these new possibilities that are being presented to you, because you're no longer in this past energy of feeling like you need to defend your spot. That's what it's really saying. And I know that it's like, that's easier said than done, but that's basically the advice. This can be very impactful if done appropriately, right? Hi, Moss. Welcome in, everyone. If you're with me, leave an emote in the chat. I know that I'm going real deep into this tarot reading, but I still am here with you, so please be here with me. Thank you so much for the compliments as well, Gar. I did see that. I think that's all I have. I know that was kind of deep. Let me know if this was resonating with you. You don't have to tell me how, but let me know if you got something from this. Ooh, that was kind of deep. And if you would like a personal reading, or if you would like to join the raffle for a personal reading, now is your final chance to go into that Discord server and leave an emo in the chat, a peckaberry emoji in the reactions to that to that message, so that I can add you in. All you have to do is go to the announcements channel and scroll up, and you can join the raffle. Oh, I need to turn a fan on. It was resonating slightly. Okay, thank you. It's a general collective. There sometimes a general collective, you know, sublink the way that you're describing yourself, and maybe I'm putting you on a little bit of a I'm putting you in a higher position than you might actually be, but the way that I see it, based on what you said, is that you are not the person who needs a general collective reading the way that some other people might need them. So if it's not resonating for you, I could understand that, because a lot of times if I go to like a general collective, let's say I'm looking on YouTube and I go to a general collective reading, I am not necessarily going to be looking at like, I'm either going to feel it a lot or I'm not going to feel it at all. You know what I mean? Resonated deep boots. IDK if you saw, but I was close to shedding a tear. Do you do readings professionally? Because honestly, wow. Let's just say in a previous life, I would love to go back to it, but if I did go back to it, I don't know if I would incorporate it into what we're doing here. So I don't currently do it professionally, but at one point or another that did happen, but I don't want to speak about that any further. It is resonating a bit, yeah. Okay, period. And I will post this VOD. I'll post this VOD on YouTube, and I'll put timestamps on all of the little parts. So that way you can go and, like, if you want to return to this, or if you're feeling it later, you'll be feeling it later. Yes, of course, Moss, of course. How long have you been doing this? That reading was just so seamless. Thank you. I've been reading tarot cards for 9 years. Going on 9, I started reading. I got my first. Somebody read a reading, did a reading for me when I was 18 or 19. I think it was 17 or 18 actually. I started reading cards for myself when I was 18. I started reading cards for other people around the time that I was 19 or 20. So there was like a cute little like period of being a chrysalis before I spread my wings and was able to actually fly with this. But I really do enjoy doing it, which is why I was excited to do it for y'all. And I do want to remind you all that this is actually a reward for the subathon. Let me replace this image. This is actually a reward for the subathon. We did get the is that this? Where is that? Is that this? Let me see. Yes, it's on the Here's What I Owe You list from all the from the subathon. I owe you a tarot reading stream, and that's like on more. It's towards the bottom of the list, but it is one of the things that I needed to do. Thank you so much, Gar. I can't hang out much longer, but I'd love to check the rest of this out. Thank you so much, Gar. I appreciate you for being here. If you're still with me, we are going to be doing that raffle in a few moments. So now is your time to go and scroll up and go do your little thing while I prepare that for you. I will let you know when I am actually putting those names on the list, because you're not going to see it until I spin that wheel. Oh, I'm having a good time. It's been a hot minute since I've gotten into this kind of stuff. I used to be really deeply into it, but not as much anymore. I think there were benefits and there were drawbacks to being in it the way that I was in it, but I'm glad that I'm doing it now. Ooh. Hi, Pero. Well, you can always check on the VOD. You know, Pero, you know you're one of the very few people who, if you actually asked me and you were genuine and said, "Hey, can you do a reading for me?" I would do one. Or if you did a reading for yourself and you wanted me to interpret the cards, like we've talked about this. Anyway, let's move on. So there's that. The next thing that I need to do is let's just put this here. Hi, damsel. Are you enjoying yourself, damsel? Or are you at least listening? The next thing that we're going to be doing is the raffle. So now it's time for me to actually go into the Discord and look at the list of people who responded to the raffle announcement, because that's where that's going to be at. What is everybody up to? Like, what are you, I know a lot of y'all are probably doing something else while you're also doing this, but what are y'all up to now? View reactions. Okay, so we have two people who added themselves. We have Moss Green City. I'm just gonna put Moss Green City as MGC on here. And then we have Mobsuki Key. Okay, so that means I have Breb, Rose, Rye, Moss Green City, Mobsukiki, Save Sapphire, CMB, V Milotic. Is that everyone? That should be 9. 1, 2, 3. Breb, Rose, Rye, CMB, Sapphire, V Milotic, Moss Green, and Mobsuki. I think that's everyone. And I don't think anybody else joined us, so we're gonna switch over to that. You're driving home, period. You're brushing your teeth. Yeah, because you have class. Get into it. V is cleaning. I'm actually trying to think of questions. Okay. Pulling out my medallion to see which deck my spirits want. Oh, get into it. I've never thought about doing that. I normally though, I'm the kind of person where it's almost kind of like if I'm leaving my house to specifically get a tarot deck or any kind of, spiritual wares. It's almost kind of like an arrow. Like, I leave my house, I know I'm going to go to this place, I know I'm looking for this thing, or I'm looking for something that looks like this, or I'm doing something that is like this. Like, it's an objective. Like, I already know that I'm going for this, so it's kind of like already set in my soul that that's what I got to do, so to speak. I've been listening while I game on mute because I am interested in the tea. Get into it. The tea. The tea. Are very adamant about one. When I asked before, I could feel the third eye pressure on my foot. Right. Get into it. Get into it. Okay, so let's get into this raffle. The raffle is currently closed. Nobody else added their name, so there are 9 people that we are currently working with. If you are here right now and you would like a reading, here we go. Are y'all ready? Let's click to spin. The first personal reading is going to Rye. Is Rye here? Oh, hi Rye. Literally as Rye pulled up, the first reading is going to Rye. Okay, so let's remove Rye's name. Let me write this down so I don't forget. Let me get my pen. Oh, why is this pen clicked out? Hello? Why? We're not wasting no ink around here. These are my good pens. Meanwhile, I'm the only person who touches my pens. Hello? It's Rye. It's not you, Rose. Not yet. Okay, next person who's getting a reading is... Let me get that drum roll. That's close. It's CMB. That was close. That was close, but it's CMB. Okay, period. And the next person to get a reading is... Let me hit that drum roll. Sapphire. Okay, period. We have saved Sapphire for the last person. One thing that I want to remind you all of before we move on is that people, let's talk about internet safety when it comes to tarot readings. Long story short, don't listen to things that make you feel like you're more delusional in situations than you actually are. Thank you so much, everybody who joined the raffle. I really appreciate all of you. I wish I could do readings for everybody who wanted one, but that's just not where we are currently. I would love, in theory, I would love to open up and be like, send me a little $10 on PayPal and I'll do a reading for you. No, we're not doing that. We're doing it the way that we're doing it, and we're moving on. I have a lot of things on that long list of stuff that I need to do for y'all that I'm going to be doing for y'all, so we're locked in. For the current moment, I need Rye. If you're still here, Violet Vampire, I need you to tell me what you want your reading to be about as I prepare that. Yeah. So you can pose a question. You can say I want a general reading about love, a general reading about spiritual health, a reading of predicting the future. Am I going to move? Am I going to, I don't know, whatever. Tell me what the it could be. And a general reading in this context means that I'm looking, it's like a cursory glance. I'm looking over everything and telling you what I see. I feel like I need some guidance for the future, like what's to come. Okay, I can do that. I want to preface this particular reading though by saying, while yes, I can read the cards and the cards can predict what's going to happen for your future, this is all dependent on the current energy, not anything else. So like, while this, so basically what I'm saying is, this may or may not come true. It may or may not be that deep. It may or may not happen the way that I'm describing it, when I'm describing it, as I'm describing it, right? So it's gonna be an energy thing, right? So I might say the sky's gonna be blue on this day, and next thing you know, there's gonna be a blue car driving past your house. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So follow me. I'm taking it for what it is and nothing more. And that might be something big, but it might not be. I have done readings before, where somebody asked me like really serious life alter questions about things that are altering their lives, and girl, the things that I see, the things that I can see in them cards. Well, really, because really it's the cards that are telling me the information, but it's like, damn, okay, like, anyway, besides the point. Tell me about Rye's future. Tell me about Rye's future. A general future reading for Rye. If somebody... If somebody can please go to the Discord server at some time between now and by CMB's reading, and let Sapphire know that they have a reading, that they won the raffle for a reading, and if they would like it, then they are going to get it, and if not, then we can spin that wheel again. Okay, give me a future reading for Rye. I'm gonna place these cards facing downward so I'm not reacting to them as I'm placing them on the freaking table. Cause like y'all knew early, y'all heard me earlier. I was like, oh, as I was seeing what was happening. Let me respect your privacy a little bit. Hold on. Okay, give me a future reading for Rye. And I will be posting these I will be posting this VOD on YouTube. I also do not mind. I intended to record these as well. I recorded Sam's for him previously, but if I'm posting it on YouTube, honestly, you can return to it there. I don't need to like send it to you. That's gonna be that's already a lot of work. Just doing the VOD and going and checking and all the little but I am gonna be putting timestamps on that reading. On those readings. Ooh. All right, Rye, brace yourself. If something happens where someone isn't available and we'll have to roll again, and that person rolled on isn't readily available to ask the question, can we send your question somewhere? What do you mean by that specifically? If something happens where someone isn't available and we have to roll again and that person called on isn't readily available, I guess. Can we send our question, our question somewhere? I think it depends. Like, right now, Rye and CMB are available, and I'm sure CMB is sat somewhere. So, because CMB's normally around when I'm streaming, especially recently. But for like in the event of Sapphire, I think I want to give Sapphire until the time when I feel like I need to do another spin, and then I'll do the other spin. Because I really would like to keep this all locked in on this one individual moment, and a lot of the people who were already in the who were in the ding were here, and it's not a personal thing for anybody, but just like, we got to keep the show rolling. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, yes, I'm doing this for y'all, but also I have other things that I have going on. You know what I mean? I have playthroughs that I need to plan for the future. I have other things that I need to do, and the way that I'm doing these readings calls for me to make content for them. So like I've taken like so much time out to make this presentation. I've taken so much time out to pull out the decks. I've taken so much time out to shuffle the decks and to do the readings, and that's not even considering like I feel like we're about to play Uno. It's serious up in here, girl. Plus, I just did a reading on somebody else. Like I have to clear that energy real bad, real bad. Okay, Rye, here we go. Past. Ooh, present. Ooh, future. She works hard for the money, so you better treat her right. Ooh. Okay, I can already see where this advice is going to be going. Rye, I think that you need to not stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, but we'll talk about it. Let's scoot this over. Let's scoot this over. Let's scoot this over. Let's scoot this over. Hello? Okay. Cute. Just put that carnelian there. Shout out to the smoky quartz. We're going to put that right here. Actually, I'll put that here. Period. Don't be nervous. At this point, your fate is predetermined anyway. Okay, Rye, I got your picture. Let me edit this up so that I can show you what I see in front of me right now. Damsel, I love a little bit of Uno. We could play. Okay, Rye, let's get this let's get this party started. Let's put that here. Gorgeous. Shift R Y Control A Control C Position. Okay, Ryan, here is your reading. You have the Magician. You have the Two of Wands right here. You have the Seven of Pentacles. You have from the Rose Oracle, you have the Sacred Waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, self-care. And from the Oracle of the Roses, you have the Explorer, the Old Garden Rose, the I would say Ame Vilbert Rose, Vivert Rose. I don't know how to say that name, but anyway, here's your reading. It's really interesting, actually. Bites finger. Hi, Aria. Uno sounds fun. So, Rye, here it is. Magician is the energy of creation. It's a major arcana. It is major arcana number 1. The only thing that happens before the magician is the fool. The magician is representing your past energy. You have been manifesting. You've been doing things to make this current moment happen. And now you're in a position where you can look forward at things. You're not taking action yet. You're actually it's like you're scoping out the you're scoping out your environment to know what actions to take forward with the Two of Wands. It's very simple. The Magician speaks to somebody who has resources. You are looking at your resources. You have gathered your resources. You are gathering materials, and you are planning a mode of action forward in some aspect of your life or another. Specifically, I think that this might be a creative endeavor. I think that's great. That's great. This is just a very preliminary reading because it's kind of straightforward. The Seven of Pentacles is saying, though, that if you want, it's almost kind of like you got to do something strange for a piece of change around here, Rye. You got to do something strange for a piece of change around here. Where is that sound? I'm going to say it again. You got to do something strange for a piece of change around here, Rye. Where the hell did it go? Exactly. If you want things to be better in your life, and in whatever regards that this is talking about, you're talking about your near future, you're gonna have to put some work in to make that happen. Plant the seed now. What is it? What is it? Slap that bitch today. Slap that bitch today. Like, don't even waste any time. I think that you're right now in the energy where you're looking out. Um, what is that song that I'm hearing? Uh, I get a strong impression, Rye, that you are about to commit to something that is like it might be a creative endeavor. It also might be something that is like something for some kind of money, like you're trying to gather your materials so that you can start some kind of job. If I had to guess, we have the Explorer for your Oracle of the Roses card. I love this deck. This card specifically, these little pink roses, those are cute. But it's describing you as the Explorer in your current energy. That makes sense with the Two of Wands. You see the guy over here peeking over the balcony. The wands are representing his desire to take action outside of that balcony that he's standing on. It's giving me very much Aladdin. What is that? Jasmine. You know Jasmine when she's sitting in the garden with her tiger and she's just kind of like, oh, what's going on with my life? I'm kind of bored, nothing's really going on. That's you right now. You're like the princess in the castle. You're looking for an adventure and it's coming to you. But for you to have that adventure, you have to do work, and it might be work that you have not previously thought of. They're kind of telling me here, the work that you might have to do might be developing skills that you might think are easy, but that you actually have to develop in the first place before you can get there. And you have the resources to do that with the magician being here in your past energy. This energy of the past informs the present, and the past informs the present and the future. So you already have all the things that you need to make this happen with the magician being here, and you're powerful enough to make it happen. Right now, you're in a passive energy with whatever it is that you have going on. But when you get into a more active energy with making it happen, it's going to happen because you already have all the information, all the knowledge, all the skills that you need. You just have to put in the work. And sometimes the hardest part is about putting in that work to make that shit happen the way that you want to make it happen. Like, you're already there, you just need to take the steps forward to get there. Like, to you're already where you need to be to get where you want to go, but you need to take the steps to get there. And sometimes walking the pavement is daunting when you know that you're able to ride the car. It's almost kind of like you're walking. I'm seeing like you walking on the pavement, and like you're seeing cars drive past you, and you're like, I want to be in a car. I want to go faster. I want to get where I need to go. But the thing about that is that there's lessons along the way, knowledge, skills, and that's what the Seven of Pentacles, all these little pentacles right here, that's what they represent: the knowledge, the skills, the ability, the things that and also tangible things like items, money, and they could represent experiences. A lot of things that are going to ground you to to this journey that you're on, this cycle that you're in. um you need to take steps on the pavement, though. You need to learn how to walk before you can run. You need to learn how to crawl before you can walk. You need to learn how to, you know what I mean? Like, it's like right now you're in the training wheels era before you can actually, you know, do the triathlon that you're trying to do. um we have the sacred waters for your advice. It says nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. So some of those seeds that you need to be planting in your advice in your future, ball before you crawl, exactly. Some of those things that you need to be working on in your future, the advice is kind of leaning towards you focusing on your self-care. With the sacred waters coming out, why I said you might not need to stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. Um, while it's saying that you need to stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to, honestly, let's just wait for the ads to be over. Can somebody? Let me just say this. We're back. It's okay. Hi, Rye. Welcome back. while I said you need to stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, or rather, you shouldn't stick to the rivers and lakes that you used to, but that's what I said in the preliminary. It's because of the sacred waters. You might need to find a safe place for you to take care of yourself better. That might be what this entire reading is about, but it might also be that you need to focus on the environment, focus on the things that you're doing, focus on the places that you're going, focus on the things that you're not focused on, because there might be things around you that are not categorized in all these resources that we're talking about from the past that you could use to benefit you in the future. Like I was saying, some of those things might be in this energy of the magician, but some of them might also not be things that you're noticing. You know, when you're able to make anything happen in your past energy with the magician, it's almost kind of like sometimes you don't, it's like, okay, it's giving me a wizard analogy. It's giving me the analogy of, what is that? When you're a beginner, it's almost kind of like when you start a video game or anything like that. Like they tell you in the beginning of a video game, they tell you how to parry. They tell you how to duck and roll. They tell you how to get out of the way when something comes at you. But you don't remember, or you don't think it's a big deal when you're fighting medium level enemies. And then when it's like when you're fighting the big boss, when you're fighting the big bad, when you're actually on the journey where it actually matters, that's when you need to be focused on those really basic skills. And right now, it's not that you skipped a tutorial, it's that you need to remember the tutorial. There are things that you might have witnessed, possibly other people do, or things that you witnessed in your life where you saw other things happening outside of you and you knew it was supposed to benefit you, or you didn't know how much it was going to benefit you in the future, and you need to go and re-up on that lesson so that you can get it back so that you can go forward. And I think to a certain extent that's also possibly what the Seven of Pentacles is talking about, where it's saying there were seeds that were planted that you might benefit from in the future. However, you're not going to benefit from them right now, and that's why it's coming out as a 7 instead of the 8 or the 9. Oh, okay. What else? Anything else? I'm seeing. I'm really getting from the Oracle cards. I'm really getting a strong. I'm really getting a strong vibe with the Explorer here and with the Sacred Waters. You need to. I think that you would benefit from having some kind of tranquil, even if it's in public, kind of experience where you are near water. And that might just be representative of you needing to have some space to think away from the hustle and bustle of whatever life that you're existing in right now. Whether that's you going for a walk outside, whether that's you just sitting in your backyard, it's you getting away from the current circumstances that you're in order to think or to process what's going on in that current environment, whatever that means. And that might be you sitting near water. That might be you going to a park. That might be That might be you going to the nearest fast food drive-in spot and getting yourself, the number 3 order. Like, it doesn't matter, but it's whatever is making you feel like you're more available or open to it. And I think that similarly to what was I saying? I was saying I don't even. I'm so disconnected. What I was saying in the collective reading, where we need to look to, and I don't know if you heard it, but I am posting this VOD. In the collective reading, I was saying don't seek out advice from people who are not available to give it to you, especially on that emotional level. Even though it was saying that we need to look to our elders, not every person who's in your life, I was saying basically not every person who is in your life is going to benefit you in the way that they might be based on their position in your life. You get things from different places. I think that here it's a similar energy where, like, it might be an unexpected place that you stumble upon that's going to be the place that's going to be your safe space, your home away from home. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to seek it out. And I think that's it. I think that's it. Let me know if this resonated for you, Rai. Do you have any questions for me that pertaining specifically to the reading, or did you want me to go into any more depth on anything in specific? I think it's interesting too because there's nobody else here. It's just you. It is just this reading is just about you. I think that's very interesting. I can imagine why, but I like in my mind, what's happening in my mind is that because I'm speaking. Okay, in my mind, when I'm reading these cards, it's like I'm seeing. It's almost kind of like I'm seeing clips in a movie. Like I'm seeing I saw you, Rye. I saw you video gaming, and I know some context about your lifestyle, at least in the past 6 months. And so I saw you video gaming. I saw you walking down the street when I was talking about the cars. I saw you walking down the street in a blue car driving past you. I can see you going to the fast food place. I can see you doing all these things. But it's like, I don't know what these things mean. And I don't presume to know what's going on with you on an emotional level like that while I'm doing the reading. And I tried my best not to assume what the reading is about, even if I know the circumstances, which in this case, based on what the reading was saying, there are things that you have planned that you have not told nobody. Or possibly things that you have planned that you are not necessarily like expressing specifically in my presence. All right, and that was great. So the next person up is CMB. CMB, are you here right now? CMB 122498, are you here right now? Ooh, I like the depth we went into here. I think it's best to leave it at that. Thank you. I hope that you got something from it, Rye. I wish you good luck. Thank you so much for participating in this raffle. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay, CMB, what do you want to know from your reading? I'm glad, Rye, and you can always come and revisit it at the VOD. I'm gonna post the VOD, and since you got a personal reading, it's not a private reading, but a personal reading, I am going to put a timestamp for where I started that reading too. Probably at the shuffling, but you know, you can watch it on 2 times speed, three times a day until you figure out what it's about, and it's your business. I think I'll also just a general reading. There's nothing specific I'm looking for, I don't think. Are you sure? Are you sure? If you hear knocking, it's me knocking on the cards. I love my tarot decks. I love my oracle decks, but I gotta knock them hoes. I gotta knock all that energy out of it. So I knock on my decks. I shuffle them all kinds of ways, and then I run it. Like, these cards, they're for utility. They are not for beauty. I think they are for beauty. They're great, but they're for utility. I'm bending these hoes, snapping these hoes. I don't care. I do care. It is a big deal to me. My relationship with the tarot cards and the oracle cards is great, and I would like to keep them somewhat nice, but I also gotta use them. Maybe relationship focused slightly, if anything, but not like romantic, just interpersonal. So you want something more similar to Sam's reading, not something similar to like Rye's reading. If you're here with me in this stream right now, leave an emote in the chat. I liked the direction of Rise. I understand. Ooh. Oh. Ben and Snap. Hi, on Elise. Hi, Sublink. Porygon. Shout out to CMB. I don't know why, but I think this reading is going to make me laugh and giggle. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but I think this reading is going to make me laugh and giggle. Okay, let's get into it. Did anybody have an opportunity to go and summon Sapphire for me? Nobody did it. Nobody did it. Let me go summon Sapphire myself. Oh, period. Okay. Let's just go to the general shifts. Unless you're here, Sapphire, which I haven't actually observed, but Me typing one-handed. Okay. I'm back. I had to go to the store to get something. Laugh and giggle? Yes! I'm sorry I'm distracted. I just did my first reading on the new deck. Asked who it was, and I immediately got that all represent Lilith. It was Lilith who wanted to talk. Well, when you have a relationship with somebody like Lilith, I can't imagine but think that her okay. When you have a relationship with an entity like Lilith, I cannot imagine anything but her voice being very loud in the first place. All right, let's get CMB's reading started. I'm shuffling these tarot cards. Wank. Okay. Let's get a general reading for CMB. Ooh, why am I thinking about a hot and spicy from McDonald's right now? Okay. Let me keep shuffling. Okay. Let me keep shuffling. Ooh. Whoa. CMB, what you got going on? Decisions. Oh my, okay. Oh. Okay. CMB, this is going to be a conversation about your goals. Goals and opportunities. Not a dissection of them, but just a general conversation about them. Bitch. Oh, hey. Yeah, okay. I see. Hey, how you doing? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Are y'all ready? Period. Okay, I got that picture. Let me edit it up for you. Cutely, and petitely. Roll it. Let's crop it like this. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Okay, let me just do a cute little... Are you ready, CMB? This is gonna be fun. Don't be scared. This one's gonna be fun. Well, rather an let's put it this way. It'll be an interesting conversation. And then let me hit position. Here we go. Okay. I just got a DM. Bites Pinky. Bites Pinky. Starts bleeding. This is T. Okay, anyway. Here is your reading. Sorry for getting distracted, CMB. You might be in an energy where you're easily distracted too. I got a bad girl sitting right next to me, right here on the passenger side. They ride for me, I ride for them. Anywhere we go, it's the main event. Here's your reading. You have the Star. This lovely lady right here is the Star. This is one of my favorite cards. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the High Priestess. Why is this lizard right here in the Seven of Cups reminding me of Big Challenges, Sanrio? I think it's because somebody was talking about big challenges yesterday. In my presence, we have the Great Mother from the Rose Oracle. It says, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. And lastly, we have the Heart. Okay. So, excuse me. CMB, you do not have to respond right away. Respond as you are able and capable of doing. I will be posting this VOD if you miss any parts of this reading. However, I'm going to try to barrel through it because I don't want to miss, I don't want to take up too much time. We're already an hour, we're almost 2 hours into the stream. I thought this was going to be cute and short. I don't know why I thought this was going to be cute and short. Shout out to Sabrina Carpenter, short and sweet. Okay, CMB, where you're coming from, it's almost kind of like CMB, you were chasing a dream, chasing a goal. You were like there's some kind of like idea that you had. It's like formed in your mind in a very far and distant place within yourself. And like when you closed your eyes at night, you could see it almost kind of like, it's almost kind of like you... something is forming in your mind and you want it to form in your reality, but for it to form in your reality, you have to take a journey, possibly an unexpected or like far away journey, like not like unexpected or far away, but like to reach the impossible dream, to dream the impossible dream, to like what song is that? There's a song. It's a show tune, I think. It's like that, like whatever you see in your future, and this is the past energy that you're coming from, you have to do something. You have to go above and beyond in one realm or another in order to reach this goal that you were previously pursuing with the Star in your past energy. But it's almost kind of like it was written, it was almost kind of like fated or written that you were supposed to do it. It was like, this is part of your journey, your spiritual existence, for you to be pursuing this goal. And like in the current energy, it's describing you with the Seven of Cups as being like removed from that in a sense, like, or it could even be that you were on your way to achieving that goal, and then suddenly a large array, high IQ, suddenly a large array of options were presented in front of you, and they prevented you from reaching that goal. And that's your current energy with the Seven of Cups. It's kind of like there are things that are placed in front of you, good and bad, which also could be representative of your habits on your way to this goal that are preventing you from getting to the goal that you previously saw. And it might have even been that you were almost kind of like, might be easier to simplify this by saying you were on a divine and destined path, at least in your own mindset. And as you were pursuing that divine path, you got surrounded by a series of distractions that stopped you from pursuing that path any further, even though you were already there or almost there. With the High Priestess coming out as your future energy, it's kind of describing you as needing to look back to your teaching, look within yourself. You were already given sacred knowledge about this particular event, cycle, situation, arena of life, and you need to tap back into the learning, which is similar to rise reading. The difference is you need to activate that aspect of your life, and some of these things might be information that you've learned that you cannot tell other people, experiences that you had that you don't disclose openly, things of that nature. It could also be describing you as needing to go to somebody who is represented by the high priestess, or looking towards a trusted mentor. You know what I mean? That seems to be the theme of the day: trusted mentors. The Great Mother. Okay, so you're being described as the heart from the Oracle of the Roses, which is your current energy, right? So you're looking within yourself, and you might be drawn emotionally. Like your emotions are all over the place while you're looking at all these different opportunities that are trying to veer you off the path that you felt that you previously felt you were destined to pursue. And in order to pursue those things, while yes, you feel you're very emotionally open right now, you need to look as deep as you can into your emotional center to weave your way out of this series of kind of twists and turns. What is it? Series of unfortunate events. The high priestess being here, there might be somebody who could help you with that, but since this is also representative of advice, you might need to look for higher guidance, especially with the Great Mother coming out. There might be a mother figure in your life who wants to help you, or somebody or a mother figure in your life who wants to who you're looking towards or that you're thinking about in this current moment. But I think more than anything, especially with the star, the high priestess, and the Great Mother card from the Rose Oracle, there's an essence of divine femininity here. And what that means is, a lot of people attribute divine femininity to the energy and essence of creation, the energy and essence of people who cultivate nature, people who cultivate other individuals, people who take care of things, nurturers. And while, yes, that might be great, I think that existing within that binary of saying because you are feminine or because you are female, that you must exist in that way, that's not what we're talking about. That is not what this reading is about. This reading is about you. And however, this applies to you. And you might be represented as the Seven of Cups, but the real question is, can you be honest and represent yourself fully? Like, and that might be the thing, is like, I'm seeing like it's closed. Is it closed? Like I'm seeing, like, thinking like I don't know if you even watched Hannah Montana like growing up. I'm assuming you did. And Hannah Montana, like it's like it's or like in a video game where it's like you're picking your character's clothes and you're seeing the closet and there's like a bunch of clothes that you can pick out and that's what you're thinking of. And that's what this is about. You're picking out the outfit in which you want to wear, and you have all these ideas, but you know which one is right for you, and all you need to do is look within. And it's like whatever hat you put on at the moment is the hat that you need to embody. And right now, the hat that you need to embody, the hat that you need to put on, or whatever outfit that you need to put on, is the outfit that's going to allow you to express and represent yourself without having to explain it to other people. Wow. Um, it's it's like this is an unexpected conversation about confidence and execution of what you perceive to be your destined path, right? That's interesting. uh, Let me think, is there anything else? Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. In this context, the Great Mother is probably also representing the essence of divine femininity. You're being led. It's like you're being led down this path. You've been led down this path. This path has gotten you this far. It's almost kind of like, why would you resist the path that's led you down this far? What, because you're daunted about what it's supposed where it's supposed to take you. Like if it was daunting to you in the first place, if you and like, even as a young person, you make decisions for your life, a lot of times you already know where that shit's gonna lead you, or you have an idea about where that shit's gonna lead you based on your experience, and you do it anyway. Why would you be confused when you already knew where this was heading? You know what I mean? That's kind of what it's saying. Mm, Big challenges. This what the only other thing that I have to say is the big challenges. Like I don't know. There's something there. You should look into big challenges from Sanrio. I don't really have anything else. Like I feel like that was a little short, but it's almost kind of like I think that you're open enough to hearing what I have to say to understand what I'm talking about. The actual alligator, yeah. In the Seven of Cups, the reptile being depicted is actually supposed to represent like the challenges and danger of picking certain options. Like when you're presented with so many options and so many opportunities, some of them are illusions, which is what the mask is for. Um you don't have to say anything. I'm not asking you to tell me what this reading is about. I actually would rather not know until we have a private conversation later. Or you could tell me in a not on stream. I don't care if it's private or not. That's up to you. Um, but it's like it's representing the illusions and the dangers surrounding having so many options when you don't know where you want to go. And a lot of times when you're given a Seven of Cups in your energy, it's because like it's not always that you don't know where to go, but it's that you see the potential in everything, but not everything that you see potential in is supposed to be where you're supposed to go. And that's why it's giving you the heart as a representation, is because I think you already know that you need to follow your soul. You need to follow what your heart is telling you to do, not to just do just because it's cute and it's fun and it's right in front of you does not mean that it's worth pursuing. And I think you're already aware of that, especially because you're also being described as somebody who is on the road to deep intelligence, even if that's not necessarily being discussed or described at this current moment. Anyway, that's all I have for you, CMB. Let's see if Sapphire responded to my ping in the server. Nothing from Sapphire. They're not online. Let's see. Um should I spin the wheel again? I think I might. Oh, thank you, CMB. I appreciate you for allowing me to read for you. Thank you so much for allowing me into your energy and giving you this reading. I wish you luck moving forward. I hope you got something out of it. There you go. Sorry if it was very short. I feel like it was very. I feel like the energy was fairly concise, which I think you needed. Let's shuffle these cards. I'm gonna shuffle these cards and reset them. And then we're just gonna do another roll. Another roll of that wheel. No, it was good. I appreciate it. I also got a lot out of the community reading, so I think it makes sense that this one was more concise. Yeah, it might have just been put, especially because you said you basically were like saying you were contributing a lot of energy to the community reading. It might have just been like pinpointing exactly what part of it was about you. Of course, Sublink. I'm glad that you're getting something out of this stream too. If you're still with me in this stream, and that's to anybody, please let me know. Say hello. I'm here having a great time doing these little readings and keeping it cute, and I'm going to continue going. We could do another spin for that next reading if Sapphire is not going to respond. Just because I don't want to like blow Sapphire up. Like if I ping Sapphire and Sapphire doesn't respond, like I'm not gonna go and run a DM because I just don't think that like, you know, that's not personal to anybody. If the next person doesn't respond, then the next person doesn't respond. Let me do this. Okay, we have Bread Roast, Milotic, Moss Green, and Mobsuki on the wheel, and we're gonna spin it here in a moment. There we go. Let me reset these cards really fast, and then we'll spin. Ooh, okay. That's a good reset for me. This is the last reading, and after this reading, we're gonna get out of here. This has been a cute little moment, but it's a moment in time. Okay. So the third person who I'm going to be doing the reading for. Let's spin that wheel. Yeah, there's not really a large community of people who do tarot readings on Twitch, but there are other social media platforms that seem to be better adept for that kind of thing in the first place. A lot of people are already apprehensive about doing things like this online, so it kind of makes sense that like a lot of people wouldn't be doing it on Twitch because Twitch is kind of more serious, and a lot of times on people who do readings like that, like people who do any kind of tarot readings or divination, especially from money online, they need a fast turnaround, and they need to be able to utilize an algorithm. Even on YouTube, even though YouTube is bigger, there's like a community on YouTube, you know what I mean? Okay, so we're moving on. The next person, the last person that we're going to be giving a reading to, if they're here, is, let's do that drum roll. Mobsuki. Mobsuki, are you here? After I get out of here, I'm gonna play some Pokopia. I don't know about y'all. All right. I pinged Mobsuki in the Discord server. That's the best that I can do. Um, I don't think they are. That's okay. I pinged them in the Discord server. If they don't pull up, then we'll just move on. I'll do one card readings for them in the Discord server, and that'll be it. I'm gonna give Mobsuki a few moments because I know not everybody's available, but also I don't want to sit on here for 20 minutes talking about how we're gonna wait for somebody else to pull up. And that's not a personal thing. That's just like the straight up facts. Like, I've been sitting here for 2 hours already. I've just done multiple readings, and I'm very positive about that. I'm glad and grateful for everybody who's been here. And I'm grateful to the community for the things that y'all have done for me that even incentivize this to happen in the first place, because that's the switch too. That's the subs. That's the things. Like, we're getting things done around here. Like, and I appreciate y'all for contributing to that. If you're listening to this or if you're watching this VOD, hello. Yeah. What else? Tomorrow we're supposed to be continuing the Fierce Pop Lock and Pokemon Fire Red. I'm excited about that because we're going to be going to Fuchsia City, and we're going to be doing the gym in Fuchsia City. I need to do more Safari Zone. So I was saying that I might do the cycling road, or I was at least telling that to myself that I might do the cycling road during the stream, but honestly, we might do some more Safari Zone. Capture all those Pokemon, go through all of them and name the ones that we want, and then do the gym and do a double elimination. That would be fun. Hi, Milotic. I hope the readings are slaying. They are. I'm waiting for Mobsuki to pull up because I re-rolled for Mobsuki to be like the second person. And if Mobsuki doesn't pull up, then we're just gonna close out stream, I think, because I don't want to wait all day. And I did roll, so there's 4 people who won. And if we don't see Mobsuki in a few moments, or if we don't see Sapphire pull up, then we will move on. Anyway, yeah. I have these, like, what are they called? Garlic naan, like naan bread, but naan. It's garlic naan from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna go make some pizzas with that. I have some pepperoni, some pizza stuff on. I'm gonna put some pepperoni, some sauce, some pepperoni, some mozzarella. I'm gonna put 2 of those in the oven at 400 for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let all the cheese melt on them and get them all crunchy and crispy. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. Does the stick bug dance? Period. Ooh. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is for Mobsuki and for it is delicious. For Mobsuki and for Sapphire, I will do a 1-card reading for them in the Discord server since they're not really pulling up. Even though Mobsuki was here earlier, I just think that, like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to take up all of my time or all of your time just sitting here idling on the stream. So I do want to say thank you for everybody who stuck through it with me. I hope that you enjoy the tarot readings. I hope that you watch the VOD. If you do watch the VOD, it's going to be great. I'll post it probably later today. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Let me edit this message that I sent out to Mob really fast. Okay, period. I want to eat a pizza like a cookie. Yum. I love like a personal pan pizza. I actually have a free personal pan pizza on Pizza Hut. Sounds delicious. Anyway, can we raid Damsel? Oh, I forgot Damsel was streaming. That's probably where everybody went. I didn't think about that. Whoops. Well, I guess we can raid Damsel. Like, not that I didn't think that everybody needed to be here or anything, but like, maybe that's where Mobsuki is. You never know. Anyway. Check out my socials, check out the throne, check out everything. I'll see y'all soon. We're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed all these readings and everything else. The GPL is going down. She's blowing up my phone. I see. Let's see. Is she even streaming? She is. Okay, if y'all see Mobsuki or if y'all see Sapphire in anywhere, let them know I'm looking for them for a reading. We're gonna raid Damsel. Bye.